say they're Christian, they'll have Psalm 93, whatever, in their Instagram bio. But truly, they are smoking weed and doing Ibo and Shayo. Like, doing Ibo and Shayo. No.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Candice. Hi, nice to meet you. As you can see, I have two guests. But today's video, we're going to be doing a college / being a Christian in college Q&A. So I'll have you state your name, your major, and what year you're in.
My name is Frankina. I'm a bio major, first year at Northeastern.
Hi, my name is Crystal. I'm a first year health science major in Northeastern.
And if you didn't know, I'm Candice, as I said. I'm a first year as well, and I'm a cell and molecular bio major. We have some questions here, like these are just like leading questions. So the first question is, how was the process of choosing what college you wanted to go to as a Christian? Who wants to go first?
So basically my process, it wasn't too bad because like my sister, she goes to BU and she's a second year now, so like I was kind of following in her steps a little bit. But like for choosing the college I wanted to go to, I just searched online like good colleges for like health sciences and like pre-med. So Northeastern was one of the schools, and I toured here as well in my junior year, and I liked the area and everything, so it was nice. But as far as being Christian, like going to a school and choosing where to go, like I really prayed about it because I didn't want to like go somewhere that like, you know, I'm not supposed to go to, or like somewhere that God doesn't want me to be in. So I really had to pray about that, and like just trusting God for like the whole process, because I got like rejected to like a lot of schools, but I did get accepted to like some schools as well, and like Northeastern was like the best option for me, so I just chose to go here.
As for my process, it wasn't really a process. I only applied to Northeastern ED, so this is the only school I applied to, and I just wanted to go and like into a good school, so I didn't really have a option. I knew that I wanted to go to another city, similar to New York City, but I didn't really have like a list that I want, a list of schools that I wanted to apply to. And as for like Christianity, I pray to God to draw me closer to like friends that are Christian, so I wouldn't like draw away from Him. And I just wanted to go to a school where I feel comfortable and wouldn't have to, you know, like be a different person to fit in.
Like that. Okay, so my whole college process, I applied to like 12 schools overall. I applied in-state because I'm originally from Maryland, but I know I didn't want to go to stay in-state. That wasn't for me. So I first saw Boston University. That's how I found out about Northeastern, and then I started liking Northeastern. I was like, okay. So I did a college tour for the school, and I really saw myself here. Like as soon as I did, I was like, okay, I like it. But like choosing it as far as being a Christian, I prayed like heavy on it. I said, God, if I get into the college, you know, let it be because you want me to go here. If I don't, then I mean, it's not in your will, not in your plan. So that was like my mindset of how I knew like which college I wanted to go to. Plus they gave me money, so I know that was backed up by this. So I was like, okay, yes, this is the one I'll go to. So that's really it. Another question would be our experience as a Christian in college. Listen.
Okay, so for me, it wasn't too bad because like when I came here, I already knew Candice, and we like talked on Instagram, and like we were originally gonna be roommates. So I was like, okay, I now have a Christian friend that I can like, you know, go with and like, you know, entrust my relationship with God in a little bit. So I just like had the mindset, like at first when I came in, I wanted to like party, I wanted to do all these different like look around and stuff, but it wasn't really for me. So I did go to like 2 parties at the beginning of the school year, but then after that Candice helped me to not go to anymore, so I stopped going to parties. And then yeah, it wasn't too hard. I like started making like more Christian friends because like what I said, I prayed like that God would like help me to get to school that would not push me away from him. So like all the friends that I made were like Christian. It was like a coincidence like that my prayers were being answered. So yeah, it was kind of like easy on that part a little bit, but it's if you aren't around the right group of people, then it will be difficult for you to like stay like in God and like be encouraged like to not do bad things. So like I will encourage you to like try to make sure that the people that you're hanging out around with are good influences on you.
Coming to college, my mom already warned me to go to church, so I made sure to like find a church around here and go to like almost every Sunday. Follow question. Being a Christian in college was hard for me in the first semester because of like the workload that I had. I really wasn't reading my Bible. Like I wasn't really spending time with God. But then when I got on winter break, that really like made me realize that I need to get closer to God. And that it was like a transition for me because I was like I was receiving videos, like especially from YouTube, TikToks. Like those videos were like signs of me, like for me to like draw closer to God and to read my Bible and to pray for my next semester and everything to come.
Yeah. For me, being like my experience. Okay, so first semester, because we're in second semester now, but first semester, I would say it wasn't as hard, but there were like some challenges. Like I remember, this is not something I'm proud of. I didn't like touch my Bible for like the first month I was there. I know. It's not good, but like after, like Frankina said, I used to get like a lot of videos on Christianity because everyone I follow is Christian. Most people I follow are Christian. So I used to get like a lot of videos on that, and I guess that is what kind of drew me back to like the word and stuff like that. So like, and having them as like friends, obviously, they encouraged me. But I did go to the 2 parties with you, and I don't want to say like get it out of my system because I knew from the beginning I'm not a party person. Like I like to stay on my dorm. I don't like to go as much. Like it's too cold for that in Boston, especially. But that just confirmed that I wasn't a party person when I went there. I made like more. These are like my solid group. So they're Christian, and it's very helpful because I honestly like I prayed before, like I prayed like years for getting Christian friends and like a mentor and stuff like that, and you know they're here going into the prayers. So it's like it hasn't been as hard like being Christian when you're surrounded like with Christian friends, obviously. So that really helped. Academics did come in the way of me reading my Bible. But then there's like a time where I did read my Bible and do like talk with God and like study and do like well in my academics. So there's obviously a balance here that can be had and that can be made. So I would say I'll give my experience first semester, I'll give it like a good 7 out of 10. So what would you guys rate it?
I'll say like a 6.5.
Like it was good at first, but towards the end I just feel like I was doing my work. Like I was doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
So
it's like, yeah,
I would give it like a 7. Solid 7.
Like sometimes when you do your work, like this is like a thing that I realized is that when you do your work, you forget that God should be like the center of everything in your life. So you can include him in like your academics and stuff, not just like have a separate like section for him. He should be included like everything. So that's like one thing I learned and that I failed to realize when I was studying and like neglecting him kind of. So,
and one thing to keep in mind is that like even though like you're in college, like especially in Boston, like where everything is active, everybody's active, like every weekend people are going to parties. You see people wearing the white tank top and black pants combo, but like in the cold weather too, like it's just like it's good to remember that like you have to set aside time, like especially for the word, like if it's like 30 minutes like at the end of the day, or like 1 hour to just like maybe listen to worship music or read your Bible or pray or something. That's really important because it's going to keep you in that consistent phase, you know, that like even though you have work, you have all these responsibilities to, you know, look up to, you still have made time to like spend time with God, because like it all adds up, you know? Yeah. Also like easy to forget, or like easy to get backtracked, especially if you're like consistently going to parties, consistently not having the right people around you, consistently like forgetting and neglecting about God, because that'll draw you away from you. That's why like what you said, winter break really helped me to put me in closer to God, because I wasn't doing anything during winter break, and it kind of like helped me to be like my secret place. What is it called? My secret place, with God, so He can like shine His light on me and things like that. So yeah, something good to remember.
Like who you surround yourself with, especially. It's
very important.
To be mindful too, because you came here for a reason. Like we're here on earth for a reason, to do God's mission, to do God's work, not to sit here and party. And do,
the people you surround yourself with is very important, because you can like come into school like a good girl, and then by the time you know it, you're messed up over crying over some boy. Like no.
Okay, we'll get into more of that stuff later because we can talk. Another question is it difficult to stay strong in your faith in college? I'll start. A little bit. Not as much, obviously, since I'm surrounded by them. But when you see other people doing stuff, and I guess that's like the easier way to live, then you start thinking like, oh, if I wasn't Christian, da-da-da-da-da. But honestly, being a Christian is way better than not being a Christian. Or being a believer is way better than not being a believer. Because it is, like, it is. But is it difficult? I would say if you put in the effort to spend time with God and surround yourself with godly individuals, then it won't be as difficult, because you see examples of Christ-like people in your life. So it's like, okay, I want to be like them, or I want to do what they're doing. But I wouldn't say it's difficult, especially being like this liberal area, this college where people are doing worldly things. Because I've gotten like asked before, oh, Candice, you don't do this, you don't celebrate this, I'm like, no, and they just look at me all side-eyed, like, oh. But I feel like it is a bit difficult. What about you guys?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely difficult. Well, like for now, but like it was difficult at first, because like it's hard to kind of remember that, like, you know, especially because I wasn't like really like deep into like my faith in the beginning of the year. So it was difficult, like just remembering that like I'm set apart, and I have to like set myself apart from other people and of the world. Like even though I'm surrounded by all this like noise around me, like I have to put myself separate and like remember that, you know, that's not who I'm called to be. I'm not called to be a party goer. I'm not called to be all these nonsense things. I'm not supposed to do that. So it was difficult at first, but I hope it gets easier.
Yeah, like to choose between easy or difficult, it was difficult, or it is, because in college I have more freedom and I could do whatever I want to do, but I don't take advantage of my freedom, because that's how people like fall into like things or like routines, and they start to change. I just basically like focus on my schoolwork and then surround myself with people like me. So and I make myself busy. Like I don't just sit there and do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like
How hard is it to find Christian friends in college?
Hard. It's not really hard.
No.
Hard?
If we didn't meet each other, it would have been hard.
But like we would eventually meet each other, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
I would say,
I don't think it was hard.
I don't think it was hard. I mean,
honestly,
honestly,
you knew her.
It came.
I talked to you.
How did I know
and
you? Oh,
knew
Sunbridge.
So then we all
Sunbridge.
Yes,
introduced each
Sunbridge. Okay, it wasn't okay.
But we met each other in first semester.
Yeah.
That's not hard.
But like, I don't know.
Because
we didn't
prayed about it.
Yeah,
prayed about
I
it.
definitely
If we
prayed
didn't
about
pray
it.
about it, it would have been harder. But
the thing is that like figuring out like who's Christian, because people say they're Christian, they'll have Psalm 93, whatever, in their
bio.
in their Instagram bio. But truly, they are smoking weed and doing Ibo and Shayo. Like doing Ibo and Shayo. No. I mean, I feel like praying about it like really helped. Like it's crazy like how fast I made friends that were Christian and that were like actually like truly Christian. It's crazy how fast, because I could honestly like be with other people and with other friends, and like if you don't talk with people, if you don't like make the right connections, then you might not find Christian friends. Like I found one of my friends, Erica, through
side
a
of
friend that wasn't like too Christian
behind the scenes.
but like I don't know, it just eventually happened like through conversations and like learning more about people. You can like see who's Christian and who's not Christian.
Yeah, like it's really not hard to make friends, but if you want to make Christian friends,
That's an extra step.
yeah, it's an extra step, because making friends is basically like getting closer to people that are similar to you,
like similar majors,
like maybe
you
like
can live around you,
something like your old self, making friends that are similar to like your old self.
Yeah,
I might
what's
say
comfortable.
yeah, comfortable, yeah. But to make Christian friends, you actually gotta have another step, because you can make Christian friends, but to hang out with them and stuff like that, I don't know how to explain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you could make Christian friends, but some people would rather like just be friends with like
worldly people. And you can see who wants to have Christian friends and who's not, because like they can say they're Christian and then they like post stuff on Instagram, but like the people they hang around with is not the right people, and like they might like say they want to get closer to you, whatever, but like if the people that they hang around like just shows them like what they're actually looking for.
Yeah, like certain people they don't want to walk around on campus with certain people. That makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because he perceived as a Christian girl, a Christian boy.
I never look at it in that perspective, but like I feel like Christian friends, they'll just come to you, like honestly. Like if you just remember to pray, like think, like look at the right places. Don't look at, if you go to a party and you're looking for Christian friends, like what are you doing? Please don't do that. You're gonna end up at somebody else's house. But if you go to like the right, I don't know how to do it. Explain it.
I don't know, because there's some people who you can tell they want to live for God and truly live for God, and they want to live for the world. Like there's a lukewarmness there,
and how they talk, and
how
they act, things they're saying. Like you can tell people talk crazy here, and you will tell.
It's like it's just backwards to me. But,
and like I understand that people like maybe starting their walk with God, but like you can tell if they're making an effort or not.
Because if not, it's like you can try to help them if they don't want to help themselves.
Like for an example, if they're saying they want to be close to God, but they're still hanging out with the wrong people, or like they're not talking to you to ask for advice or things like that, then you can tell that that's probably not their intentions. But like everybody's walk is different. That's what I'm saying. So
everyone's walk is different. Like
it's just important to like be yourself, especially like, and just like shine a good light, so you can encourage people to want to know God.
Next question: what are some daily challenges / temptations you face? It's a challenge every day.
If you're true to yourself, like you're not gonna go and do drugs if you've never done drugs before. I don't feel tempted to do those things because that's not how I was before in high school or like where I came from. So honestly, if you like, I don't know, just surround yourself with the right people.
Daily challenges. Okay, I guess challenges would be reading my word and being consistent every single day. That would be like a challenge.
I'm not gonna say anything, but it's easy to fall into it. Like it's easy to fall into temptations. But
it is. It has to be. That's where you put your trust and your strength in the Lord. Because
one thing I'm gonna say: don't come to school for boys.
No. Don't do it. Listen.
It's not worth it. They don't have any good intentions for you.
Just be patient.
Just wait for the Lord to bring someone for you, babes.
Don't like try to make like. Don't try to like get like a lot of friends. Just try to get quality friends.
Quality over quantity.
I don't want to say too much, but.
What are the challenges? I guess being consistent in your work.
Making a lifestyle is a challenge.
And like routine, being bold for Christ and bold in Christ.
Yes,
definitely. Listen, one thing I noticed is that a lot of these like people who are non-believers, they're so bold in their sin. It's like, why can't we be bold for Christ? Why can't we be bold, for the Lord?
Especially those crystals and diamonds people. I mean, it's hard. It's a challenge to like continually be consistent in your word and make it a lifestyle, because like at home, like when you're with your family stuff, like it's easy to like make it a habit to like watch videos every day and read your word every day, but like when you come to school, it's like you're constantly reminded that there's so many things happening around you that
Yeah.
you can get mixed up in it and forget the things that you need to do to like, you know, be consistent with your walk with God.
So is it easy to grow in the faith?
You can join Christian clubs. Oh yeah, you can find friends from Christian clubs too.
Yeah.
So like when you first come, don't like look for, you know, those other clubs, but like look for like Christian clubs that you can join, and maybe you can find friends, yeah, from there. Yeah, to grow in faith, it's not really easy. It's not, because like you're coming to college and people like from different backgrounds, different experiences are coming, and honestly, if you don't look at the right places, you're gonna get backtracked instead of like push forward towards God. So I feel like the only way you can really push towards God is if you have friends around you or a community of Christians around you that can encourage you daily. Because if you're doing it by yourself, or like you're trying to like not rely on God or like not rely on other people, it's gonna be hard.
It is.
Yeah.
Like not relying on God is like one of the mistakes you can make as a Christian, because it literally says to put your trust in the Lord. So if you don't do that, where else are you going to put your trust? You can't put it in people. People are temporary. You can't put it in things of this world. It's temporary. So
And like,
putting it in God is eternal.
and it's really important like to make friends in college that are Christian, because even Jesus had disciples that were following him. Like, come on, don't be afraid to depend on people to like encourage you. Honestly.
Yeah, because it's not. Because I know in my walk with God in the beginning, it was very lonely. I just like I didn't have anyone to like help me. I just kept it very private between me and him, but it was kind of hard because like who else would I talk to? But now I'm glad that I made, you know, women of God friends. So it makes it even easier because you can talk about like your struggles. You can hold each other accountable. You know, Bible study, prayer. Listen, I'm saying about prayer. Prayer is powerful. People like forget the power of prayer. Prayer is powerful. Because listen,
Even if it doesn't happen now, it's gonna happen later.
it will.
Yeah.
Like God's timing. So it is like a bit difficult to grow in your faith. But if you like truly want to live for the Lord and put in effort, then I feel like you can do it. Have you found any Christian groups, churches, or clubs on campus?
Yes.
I found this one club called Crew. That's it really. And then this
Boston is.
Boston AO. Yeah, that one's good. We stood in.
We haven't gone yet.
But we'll go this semester. Churches.
I found a church. We found a church because my sister, the church that we went, the church that I go to, there's like different denominations. They're just like, we go to African church, Ghanaian church, yeah. And there's an elder that picks us up and takes us there every Sunday. So
do we have like, do you guys have any stories to tell about like being, any experiences, you know, being Christian in college?
I feel like you should talk about your academic, like chemistry.
Yes.
That one,
That
95 exam.
That was crazy. Listen, I have a testimony, y'all.
That's one. That opened my eyes. I'm not gonna lie. That opened my eyes.
Okay, listen, Mom and Daddy, if you're watching, exit out now. Exit out now. Any siblings? I guess you could say. The classes I took fall semester, I took chemistry. Chemistry was one of the classes. I took all science classes, guys. Don't recommend. But I took chemistry, right? So in the beginning, I was kind of slacking off a bit. I hadn't taken chemistry since sophomore year in high school. So imagine that. Imagine that. I didn't put as much effort in for chemistry, and I don't recommend that, especially if you're not good at chemistry or science in general. Put in the effort, because if you don't, you'll fail. But by God's grace, I didn't fail. I remember it was like the last exam, because we had 3 exams for the class and the final. The last exam, I studied for it, but I didn't study as much, and I failed it. I got scared because my bio teacher, she told me that you needed a C in chemistry to pass, and that time I had a D. I know, it's embarrassing. It's okay, let me just study really well for the final. So I studied all the way from the beginning of what we learned all the way to the end. And like I studied up until like the last day of the final exam, the very last, like the morning of the final exam, I was still studying. And so one, like, I guess a miracle that God put his hand in there. The thing I wasn't gonna study, it was like, I forgot what was it. Oh yes, it was rate law. So I was like, let me just not study, it's not gonna be on it. So then I was like, no, I should study it. I studied the morning of, and that was like the first question on the exam. I was like, oh, you see God. I studied for like a week in advance for the final. I recommend studying 2 weeks if you can. So I studied, because I had other classes to study for, but I studied like a week in advance, and that was the class I was studying the most for. So studying. So then there was extra credit assignments that he gave us, like extra credit homeworks, and that was like, he gave us like 4, I believe. and that boosted my grade up to like a high D, like a C, no, like a high D. And then the final exam, y'all, it wasn't as bad because like I studied like really, really hard. And the final exam, I got an A on it. Out of like, I was like, see God, and that brought my grade all the way up to a B. And I said, that can't be me. Like, wow. I don't know how I went from a D to a B in like a week. Literally a week. That's how long it took. And I said, you know, the God I serve, He's mighty. He can do all things. So I was like, you know what? I was over there jumping for joy. I was thanking God because there's no way I would have gotten like that high grade of my own effort. But because He obviously helped me, guided me, I was able to get that A on the exam, the final exam. Thank God, and I passed the class with a B. So I don't recommend doing what I did. Wait until last minute to study. Be consistent in studying.
I got one too.
Yes.
I never told you guys this because I thought he was gonna change the grade. It was a mistake. But I think it could be a prayer. It probably was my prayer. So calculus, I was struggling in that class. I didn't really take it seriously. Like the first, like I would go to class, then go back to my dorm and not study that day. And then when the quiz come, I thought I knew it. I don't know nothing on the quiz. Then I will. So basically, in that class, we have 6 quizzes and a final. I failed my first 3 quizzes. It was all in the 60s, and then I started studying with Candice over there. Yeah, started studying with Candice, and then my 4th quiz I had an 88. That was the highest grade I ever had. My 5th quiz I have an 87. The last one I was kind of lacking. Then I had like a 70 something. So those average was like a 75, and I really wanted a B minus at least for that class, and which is an 80. So the final came. I honestly thought I had the hang of it, and I failed that exam. I failed the final exam with a 61. So at this point, I was sitting at a C minus. So, oh yeah, and also my account was on hold. So basically, I like when the teachers were putting in grades, I couldn't see like my overall average grade for each class because my thing was on hold. So I would just like during winter break, I was just waiting for like the hold to be lifted in order to see my grades. But I was so impatient, so I emailed my calculus professor because I averaged out everything myself for the class. So when I averaged it out, I had a 69.5, and that's D. But I was asking him if he's gonna round it to 70, which is a C minus. So I emailed him. He was like, yes. When it comes to that, they round it up when it's above a 0.5. So he said, in my case, I will have a C minus. But then he said he put a B minus in the register. So he sent out a B minus when I was supposed to have a C. And then he said, I didn't tell you guys. So he said he regrets. I can show you guys the receipt. He regrets sending out a B minus because he made a mistake. He said that my last 3 quizzes were high. So he automatically thought that my first 3 quizzes were high too. I don't know. So he sent out a B minus. So when I saw the email, I was kind of sad because I just made him realize that he made a mistake on my thing. Well, I waited 1 more week to see if my thing would be lifted so I could see my grades. And then my grades got lifted eventually. I don't remember when, but when I checked all my grades, the B minus was still there. And it's still there. I can show you guys right now. It's still there. So I ended up with a B minus by accident.
For me,
I would take it.
For me, yeah, I had to go to the hospital. I went home Thanksgiving break. I didn't come back to school. 5 shirts, 5 pay. That's it. But yeah, I took all my final exams like online. I failed almost half.
You did?
Okay. Well, I failed biology. I failed what else did I take? I failed biology. Like, it was crazy, bro. But I still passed with a B. God is good.
Amen.
And I got my GPA. Like, I was so scared of my GPA because I was holding. I have a scholarship behind me, so if my grades drop, my scholarship is walking away with it too. So I was like, oh no, if this scholarship leaves, like I need to unpack my bags and I'm going back to Maryland because I cannot afford this school. But yeah, eventually I passed I didn't pass the exams, but I passed the class. Like, let me tell you, biology, I failed every exam for biology. Like, I didn't get above a C for any of the exams. But I have a B in the class. I don't know how.
No, that's a miracle.
I know, because how?
That's a miracle from God.
Because how? Yeah.
Listen.
But I passed my semester.
Okay, so do you guys have any advice to give?
Advice.
Follow God, and you'll see the light.
Trust in God. Have faith.
There is
Unwavering
power
faith.
in the name of Jesus.
There is power in the name of Jesus. Sorry.
So actually,
Just have
advice.
just trust.
Academics, make sure you're strong. Well, always be strong, but like make sure you take it seriously in the beginning. Because you can start slacking off a little bit towards the end, but the beginning matters.
It's the
That's
foundation.
true.
Because it's easier in the beginning.
Another one is to let God be the center of everything, and let everything else revolve around Him. So don't like isolate Him from your schoolwork, isolate Him from like your friendship, isolate Him from whatever situation. Make sure He's at the center of it all because He has all the answers. He can really help you and guide you through everything, and that's a mistake that I made, but now I will not make it anymore. Amen. Like surround yourself with godly individuals, as you said, constantly join clubs and groups, Christian clubs and groups, so you can make new friends. Always read your word, like you said. If it's like 30 minutes, 5 minutes, just make an effort to always read your word and truly and intentionally seek Him. It's a hard posture.
I would say pray a lot about everything.
Pray about everything.
Be consistent in prayer. Don't lack faith because you never know what can happen. Like a prayer can take you a long way. Even if it doesn't look like it's happening right now, or like you get to stages in life sometimes where like you think that God has forgotten about you, but truly like maybe He's like being quiet to watch you, go through whatever you're going through. But like after like you go through whatever struggle you're going through, like you become stronger and bigger and better. Like I don't know, but people like they think that when you become a Christian, everything should be flowers and rainbows and joyful, but it's not, because like even like a school, you have to go through an education to get your PhD or get your degree, whatever. The same thing, you have to go through your struggles in order to become stronger. Make the effort. Make the effort. Yeah. So like when I say make the effort, like it means if you need to sacrifice your time, like from doing certain things, then sacrifice it. If you need to cut things out of your life, then cut it out. If you need to like put up Bible verses around your room, something, do it. Like if you need to like put up a reminder on your phone, like do it, because that's what's gonna help you.
Like sacrifice everything. Lord sacrifice, so we should be able to sacrifice. Like being prayerful.
And don't limit yourselves, like because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Amen. But don't limit yourself in like what grades you can get. Don't limit yourself in like how far you can go, and what your plans are. Just trust in God and just follow Him. Honestly,
Because what's impossible to man is possible to God, so it shall be done.
Amen.
I have a question for you guys. So, like, how do you want God to use you for this semester or this year, this new year?
That's a good question, Franny.
So I like at first I was like, oh, let me like only find Christian friends and things like that, and I didn't want to like surround myself like bad company. And that's important, that's true, but like it's also important that like in the Bible it says that we should be the light to the world. So if a lamp is hidden on a mountain, or like if a lamp is covered, then how will it shine light to those that are around it? So if I'm covered, if I'm hiding myself, if I'm like never going like to talk to people, then how can I share the word of God? If I don't have friends that like aren't necessarily deep inside of faith, then how can my lifestyle be a light to others? So I want like in this semester to like use my life to be a representation of Christ. I want to shine light through my lifestyle. I want people to look up to me and like see that even through my struggles I'm still joyful, even through like what I've been through I'm still like happy and stuff, and that God can use that through me. And I also want to like just make God the center of my life and let everything revolve around him, because like especially with academics I get so distracted easily. I get so lazy. Like I get so lazy, bro. Like I would be sitting in an assignment and I'll fall asleep. How is that possible, bro? How is that possible? I don't do my, like sometimes like I don't study hard enough, and I just hope that God can strengthen me, especially in this semester, because this is the last semester of the year. I don't want to, fall back, because God has given me such a big opportunity to even come to this school, and I don't want to waste that by just being foolish and being lazy. So yeah.
For me, I want people to see God in me, and I want to pray for more people. I want to be more prayerful, especially because obviously you said prayer is powerful, and it is. So I want to like help transform people, or let God use me to like pray for others in that way. I do want to, evangelize more, talk to more people about, the Lord. And I want God to use me in whatever way he wants to use me this semester, this year, whatever his plan and purpose for my life. Let his will be done through me. It says, let not my will be done, but yours. So that's honestly what I want for this semester, like, and this new year as we're in 2023, thank God. So that's what I want.
And for me, I just want God to use me like any way or form, but I mainly want God to use me to like sacrifice for others, because I like helping out people. So, but I want to help out people who loves to help themselves, not people who are ignorant. So yeah, I want.
That's hard.
Yeah,
that's real hard.
It's really hard. Yeah, so I want to help people, like if they are struggling in their walk or like anything, I just want to help them.
Yeah, I think we said it all for this video. If we have more to talk about, we'll probably make like a part 2 of this video. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to stay tuned for the videos to come whenever I post them, as we are busy college students. But hope you guys really enjoyed it. Remember to stay prayed up. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Remember, God loves you. He cares for you. If he didn't care for you, why would he die for you?
Period.
He loves you, and we love you.
Peace and love.
Stay safe.